All right, I was looking at the chart. You look at this chart, Berkshire's gained about 6 million% since Warren Buffett took over. Just an astronomical move higher. Just for context, the S&P's up about 46,000%. So incredible gains. Does this company, does it lose something without the aura of Warren Buffett in charge? Even though he's still the executive chairman, does the stock's attractiveness change for you, your members, and just how you're looking at it?
No, the attractiveness doesn't change. We are strong into Berkshire Hathaway. We've always respected their moves, and there's a lot of opportunity here now. We're calling this a succession discount. So we think the stock is trading below what it will become because everybody's waiting to see how Greg Abel performs. And there will be a number of checkpoints along the way, but this is basically what our members do. They plans for succession. So they're entrepreneurs who hand over their businesses, just like what Warren Buffett's doing. So we're watching this with great excitement because we think it's going to be a big opportunity. All
right, so you're seeing opportunity. There's an opportunity that you're looking at in particular, the cash pile they have, $382 billion. But this is one of the benchmarks I think you're talking about. You want to see him make some investments, but you want to see the return over the risk-free rate of about 4% or so. So what areas would you like to see invest? Where do you see the potential to get that gain above the risk-free rate?
Well, there's an opportunity on railroads, and we've talked about that before. We think he might be able to create a conglomerate on the railroad side, but it's more watching Greg Abel's moves. Is Greg Abel going to invest significantly in his own business? That's the sign of a true entrepreneur. That's what our members are constantly doing. They invest in themselves. They invest in the businesses they know. So we're going to look for a number of different checkpoints. And yes, he's got a lot of cash on hand now. They've been sitting on it for a while, and we think they're sitting on it so he can make a big move in 2026.
All right. Possibly in the energy space. I know his history's in the energy space. Do you think a move in the energy space is top priority? Is it transportation? Is it insurance? I mean, if you had to kind of use your crystal ball, which I know you don't really have, but if you had to use your crystal ball, where do you see that first move coming?
Well, possibly energy or industrials. They're also big into defense, and we think energy and defense are two sectors that are going to play very well over the next year or two. So Berkshire Hathaway is well positioned. They've always been looking at the trends, and we think that those are the two sectors that have lots of upside.
One story that we're following this morning is SoftBank buying basically a PE firm for data centers and things like that. Warren Buffett's famous for saying he doesn't really invest in things that he doesn't understand. Do you think Greg Abel has a different understanding of investments, tech, and things like that? Will that change some of the investments of this company?
Well, he is an operator, and we've known that for a while. And I think Warren Buffett has a very well thought out succession plan. And as I said, that's what we are very focused on doing. Succession for entrepreneurs is a practice of ours. And I think that Warren Buffett knows that Greg Abel has the background and the operating skills to make a good selection. So whether it's railroads or energy, we think that he's going to make the right choice when the opportunity knocks.
So here's an asset class that I don't think Berkshire has really any exposure to, Bitcoin. You and I were actually talking, your members are really bullish on Bitcoin. Scarcity, they're seeing this as a buyable dip. Would you like to see Berkshire Hathaway dip its toes in some things that are well outside the box of it historically, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Well, that would be particularly interesting because Warren Buffett has not been interested in Bitcoin, so this might be another breakout move for Greg Abel. But yes, we are very bullish on Bitcoin, we think, based on the scarcity of Bitcoin and also the fact that ultimately digital currency has got to succeed, just like direct response was ultimately going to overtake snail mail. So we think that ultimately Bitcoin is going to be a digital asset, is going to be successful. So this might be Greg Abel's opportunity to prove himself.
What about Japan? A lot of news about Berkshire Hathaway in Japan over the last couple years. Do you expect Greg Abel to also look at the international markets? We've been doing a lot of stories about international outperforming the U.S. markets, even though the U.S. is having a fantastic year, potentially on pace for its first back-to-back 20% gain since the dot-com era.
I think, of course, he's going to look at international. Warren Buffett found little slices in Japan, and that was a nice percent of his portfolio because he was very successful in his picks. But, of course, Greg Abel's going to look at the whole world. He's got an enormous opportunity and a giant cash fund sitting at his feet. So he's got a lot of opportunity to make some big moves, and that's what we're going to be watching for.
Okay. Your group, ultra high net worth individuals, I think all of us, we want to invest like those kind of people and kind of have the same insight as they are. How are they looking at this stock going forward? What are the benchmarks to buy more potentially? What are the benchmarks to say, I'm not sure Greg Abel's working out? One of the things you said is a strategic allocation over the next year or 18 months or so. How important is that? Like, what's the thing that's going to say, hey, this is working or this is not working?
Well, he's going to have to beat the 4 or 5% that he could just nominally get by sitting still. So he's going to have to beat that. I would not hold it against him that they're not tracking yet with the market, because I think, as I said, there's a succession discount right now. So it's being, everybody's watching with bated breath to see what he's going to do. But I think that he's going to make the right moves ultimately. He's been in the background making decisions all along. It's not like Warren just handed over the reins and he walked away. So we have great confidence that this has been a project that's been going on for a while, and he's been training his successor, because that's how you make succession plans. You have to train the people and the generation under you.